Hey guys, this video is going to be a book review of Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, who's my current favourite author. You can click on thumbnails all around my face to see other reviews of his books that I've done. Steelheart takes place in a dystopian version of the United States, where most major cities have been taken over by the epics. Superpowered people that have lost their moral compasses in gaining superpowers and have, in fact, ended up being slaves to their own desires to rule and to kill. David, the protagonist of Steelheart, lives in New Cargo, which is ruled over by Steelheart, the eponymous character, who is the most powerful epic that anyone knows about. Steelheart has incredible strength, speed, durability, flight, and the ability to turn non-living matter into steel. All epics have a weakness. Some don't even know what theirs is, but just before Steelheart took over Chicago to turn it into New Cargo, David's father was killed by Steelheart because he seemed to have discovered what Steelheart's weakness is. David doesn't know what his father did to be able to wound Steelheart. Now, 10 years on, David has been obsessing over revenge the entire time, studying the epics as best he could, and looking to try and join the Reckoners, the last group to still fight back against the epics. He has seen Steelheart bleed, and he intends to do so again. I liked this book, but unlike every other Sanderson novel that I've read, this one didn't feel as interesting and unique. It didn't feel like it stood out quite so much as the other ones. I don't really know why it is that this one doesn't stand out for me, but it's okay. It just, you know, didn't feel as enjoyable as the rest. Not to say it wasn't enjoyable, but, you know, just not quite as much so as the rest of them. One of the ways this was noticeable to me was that a lot of the characters seemed to be amalgamations or, you know, stand-ins for characters that he'd had in other books. David, for example, seemed like a mix of Kaladin from the Stormlight Archive and Vin from Mistborn, because they were both young and learning how to do things, but obsessed with revenge, sort of thing. So, Prof felt a lot like Vasher. He had a lot of anger and resentment and things, but he was also really clever and knew the right things to say most of the time. And Steelheart himself was a lot like the Lord Ruler from Mistborn. Basically, this just lessened my enjoyment of the book itself a bit. It just felt like a rehash of what he's done before, on that front at least. However, I did like a lot of things about this book. It had a lot of good things for its setting. New Cargo, with its steel-turned streets and underground, and the whole presence of the epics was really fascinating, and I just really found that a very engaging setting. Like, they had to work out what the epics' weaknesses were and things like that before they could do anything. And the way that the city was turned to solid steel just showed just how powerful a villain Steelheart himself actually was. Another thing that I really liked was the plot twist that Prof was actually an epic. Now, I saw the other plot twist coming from miles away, that Megan was really Firefight. I could see that as soon as they gave the information of she seems to be a possible epic, with some stuff to do with the power plant scenes, and the fact that Firefight was an illusionist. It added up too quickly for me, and it felt like the characters didn't really add it up as well as they should have done. But the one about Prof being a guy who is smart and he's a good leader and everything, but he actually, instead of making his inventions in the normal way, they're manifestations of his powers as an epic, so that he doesn't actually get to be like the rest. I found that fascinating. I really like that, and I wish that I'd thought of it first, because, like everything Sanderson does, it's really clever and I loved it. Overall, I did have some criticisms of this book. it felt too much like a rehash of his other things. But I did enjoy it. It just seemed rather similar to his other works and not as unique as them, basically. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this book. I would love to know what you think. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you remember to like and share it and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails down below to see other videos by me. I will see you next time, guys. Bye.